everybody? It's FrankPhillyTV coming at y'all with a it's FrankPhillyTV with your host, Big Bro. I'm Cole's little bro. Yeah, buddy. And we're gonna come at y'all with a real I would say, to me, this is a more serious topic. As a matter of fact, it needs to be paid close attention in the community as well. This will be beyond just society and across the world. Today we're going to be talking about mental illness and stigma in community, right?
The black community.
Black community, especially in the black community. And pretty much we're gonna put a couple emphasis on that because, like I said, it's very serious. For those who do have a mental illness out here, is basically what's going on is that a lot of y'all are being diagnosed with certain illnesses. And the thing is, or even if you're not diagnosed, a lot of us have illnesses that we probably known all along, known all through the years,
or don't know because we never been diagnosed.
Yeah, well, bottom line is you would know there's something wrong with you even before you get the diagnosis.
Right. You
would know there's something wrong with you. You're not acting right. You're not thinking right. You're not talking clearly. You're not eating right. You just know within your body and even also up here in your mind that you're just not right. But what happens is in the black community especially, is that we all go seek help, because that's the first step. That's the first step. We probably go see what's wrong with us first, and then when we finally get the diagnosis, let's just say, like, give me one.
We don't continue to go back out of fear of judgment.
Yeah, but name a one. Name a illness.
Social anxiety.
Social anxiety.
Depression.
Depression.
Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Bipolar
disorder, and what's that other one? Multiple personality multiple personality disorder.
Right.
And what happens is when we get diagnosed with all these different type of things right here, the thing is it's cool, but we'll go home and sleep on it as if like nothing happened. We will not go back to either get ourselves situated with a therapist or go seek help, and we just carry years on and years out with this crazy illness that could possibly bring harm to yourself but also to other people.
Right.
So my message before I give it to little bro, is that for those who are out there and you have an illness, FrankPhillyTV suggests that y'all go out there and get help, because at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in a greater depression where you're going to hurt yourself and possibly hurt somebody. Because at the end of the day, I understand some reasons why do y'all not do that, because one, y'all don't want to feel like y'all are ashamed or being judged or looked at as a crazy person. No, that's not the case. At the end of the day, sometimes we all are not in control of what comes over us as children or as an adults. It's very important that we all go seek help as much as possible. This way we can get a better mind state of why are we going through this and how we're going to do, what are we doing to change it. So that's my take on it, everybody. We're bringing on over to little bro. What you got to say?
I agree with you. I think that is like what D had mentioned to me when we was having a private conversation about a tub filled with water. Mm-hmm. You know, you're like, your mental state is like the tub, and the issue that you're going through is like the water that's filling up. And if you don't get something, you don't cut the water off, or basically cutting the water off would basically mean getting medicine or seeing a doctor, a psychiatrist, or a counselor to help you with your issue, is going to overflow to a point where you're going to snap and you're really going to be crazy, and you're going to be in a situation where it's unreversible. You know what I mean? Your mental illness gets so severe that there's little to no help out there. But our main thing that D was talking about was, it's a lot of us that don't even have a diagnosis because we haven't went to go even seek help. But we do know that there's an issue there, because we know that we're not functioning normal. We can't sleep at night. We having flashbacks. Mm-hmm. Some of us grow up with circumstances in our life, you know, being abused, being molested, being all types of things that we go through. Having our mom on drugs and not in our lives, hurt and pain. A lot of black people grow up in poverty and grow up in environments where, you know, they were born into fucked up situations that they couldn't control. And this contributed to the anger that so many of us have, the hurt so many of us have, the the twisted mindset that the attitude, the vile behavior that some of us have stem from our circumstances, and many of us is stem from just having a chemical imbalance in the brain. It can be hereditary. We can get it from our family where we're mentally ill.
And also, everybody, I'll get y'all to understand this is not your fault. Just like the same person, it's the same thing as if someone's to get raped. Yeah, I mean, it's not at your control. Yeah, I mean, that you got raped, but just like it's not also your control that you have this illness. It's not your fault at all. Don't you agree?
And that's what people need to understand. I don't think that the black people that's judging people who have mental illnesses, y'all don't understand. These people didn't ask to have mental illness. It was hereditary a lot of times. People didn't ask to be schizophrenic. People didn't ask to have social anxiety and be nervous around people. People didn't ask to be, you know, depressive, which I got major depression, where some days I can just wake up and feel like my mama died. For no reason. And I don't understand why I feel that way. I didn't ask to be that way. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's hereditary.
It is, and that's the whole thing that I try to get everybody to understand. It's like, listen, a lot of these times you either could be born with it or it can catch up to you in your later life
due to your circumstances.
Exactly. And sometimes, and like I said, you can even point them out as the way you grew up. You can point them out as of you hit a midlife crisis. A lot of times is like you completely don't have a lot of control over it, but it is important that you do take yourself to get yourself together and get yourself straightened out as far as getting help and all that, so forth and so forth. But don't take it as of like, oh, well, I didn't have this situation when I was young, so what's the point now of me trying to go get help for it or trying to do this? But remember, everybody, it's not your fault. It's really not your fault.
Tell the people who beat up on them, it's not their fault.
It's not a beat up. Like, just because, like, you sit here and say, like, you can be a typical kid in school, you just may have freckles all over your face. Is it your fault that you have freckles on your face?
Is it my fault that I'm black? Is it the fault that he's 6'4"?
We ain't gonna get into that.
I'm just saying, like, is it our physical and internal issues are not always our fault. It's most times it's not.
It's not. And at the end of the day, like, you don't have control over it. But at the end of the time, for those who are beating up on there, please take the time to really get to know the person before you really go start putting judges and consecutive notions on shit that you really don't know in that person's background, how that person grew up or what he had to deal with. I really believe within my heart that person, you know what I mean, had a hella fine, dangerous, crazy life than you could ever imagine.
It's
like we came to each other and we met each other. We both shared a similar background,
right?
Different, but we were similar, and that's why I say we both link as cool peoples. And I would, just like I tell y'all all the time, you know what I mean, like when I say and call this dude my little bro, I call this dude like real life little bro. Like, just like y'all sit here sometimes put emphasis, okay, he's my friend, she's my girlfriend, but at the same time, y'all really, that's just for a saying to say to other motherfuckers. But me personally, this is my little brother right here. This nigga right here, this is my little brother right here. I do not judge him. He's my friend. He's my best friend. So grab hold to one.
But we're not getting treated for it, and that's why it's getting worse. It get worse. Black men are killing each other. Black women and black men are committing suicide because there's no answers. But the thing that me and D wanted to talk about is the reason it get worse is why, D?
The main reason I can come up with, personally in my opinion, is that we just refuse to take responsibility for it
and get help. And why is it that we're afraid to get help? Because we're in a black community, and
where everybody's judging everybody.
Yeah, and if somebody now tell me, D, what happened in the black community when people find out you got a mental illness? What names are you called?
You called crazy, a weirdo, a psycho, or
strange,
delirious. You're a dork. Like, in other words, it's just tremendous. So what we brought up in the HIV video is that you're looked at as another person. You're not looked as your real name. You're not looked at as a human being. You're looked at as of a complete monster.
A psycho.
A straight up whole different person.
A weirdo.
So at the end of the day, it's like, it's just tremendous of how society is. It's sad, but at the same time, like, and then you also, we left out as well, is that the main reason why a lot of people don't get help, because how many times y'all done heard this in your household? Oh, I had a lot of things wrong with me, and I never been to the damn hospital. I had headaches. I done had this going on with me. I had that going on with me. I ain't gotta go no damn hospital, boy. You alright? Take a damn nap.
Right. They just overlook it. But the main thing is always them calling us crazy, or in the black community, mental health is a stigma. I actually support from Big D. He supports me a lot, man. And I have social anxiety. You know what I mean? Even when I'm around him, sometimes I can have moments where I'm uncomfortable.
It could be a very struggle.
You know what I mean?
That's why it's important. I mean to cut you off, brother. Is that the main reason why it's good that you need, and more importantly, before all of this, before a doctor coming to you or whatever, it's very important that you grab hold to someone that can understand you as much. Like I said, me and him have known each other for quite some time now, and I come to understand him as much as possible, even though I may not be in his shoes, or I may not be in his mindset, or I may not be in his brain. But it's important to me as a friend to get as much understanding as I can to understand him with his disease, because at the end of the day, this and I looked up on this thing and read up on it. It's not normal. It's very crazy for what, you know what I mean, social anxiety is. Like, I'm pretty sure sometimes I walked in the room and I noticed that the social anxiety was kicking in because of what it is. And it's and that's why it's important to me as a friend to support him whenever he's going through his times, his moments,
major depression I have,
the deepest, darkest depressions. I'm there.
He's always
so
been
I
there.
want to make sure that for all of those that are out there that are going through these issues, mental issues or whatever, grab hold to a friend. I don't care if it's a best friend from school, a cousin, or a mother or a sister.
And another
that's
thing
going to help you through
people
this.
really don't know what a friend is. It's unconditional. You know what I mean? Like, I told him things that some of my other friends know names.
We ain't gonna get into
no names, but y'all know who that person is if y'all follow my other channel. But that did judge. That wasn't the most accepting. You know what I mean? And Dante accept me for every flaw that I have, and is one of the most supportive friends. And you need a support system. When you have a mental illness, you need a support system. That's the major thing. But a lot of black people, we're gonna not drag it out too long, but a lot of black people are afraid because of the stigma. You're crazy. You're weird. You're treated like an outcast. You're scrutinized. You're judged. You're crazy. Something wrong with him.
It's almost like when you were in school.
Like when you were in school.
You were the smartest kid in school. You had the smart kids over here at one table, and you had the gangster, ratchet, all the popular over here. And then pretty much if you came over to their table talking how smart and intelligent you are and how you want to pretty much put emphasis on with your work that you're trying to do and where you're trying to go in your career, they weren't trying to hear all that shit. It's the same way with the disease. Like, he could come to me right now and say, Dante, I'm having a serious issue with it. I could simply say, listen, Jay, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a fuck. Man, just let me know. This is what I'm on. I'm about this money. Like, that's why I sit here and say, like he said, and we're not going to drag this up. We great close out. Get yourself a support system. It helps you go a long way, everybody.
A real friend that's unconditionally
unconditional love. Unconditional love.
Not love you when you up. And then when you having your bad moments, I don't got no time.
Right. Just get yourself a good friend to hold on to where he can love you. He or she can love you for who you are, what you are, and
support you through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin.
But we just want to encourage people in closing. We're about to close, right, D?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We just wanted to encourage people in closing that got mental illnesses, black people and young kids and adults. Right. Please seek help, because if you don't seek help, your situation is going to get worse, and it's going to be something that's going to be unreversible, and you're going to end up thinking about suicide and thinking about clocking out. When you don't have a support system, don't worry about people judging you, black people, and I don't understand it, how we've been through the most, we've been discriminated against, we've been treated like outcasts, but yet we are the most judgmental and discriminatory people in the world. And I don't understand that. We're the most judgmental people, and I think that comes from insecurities. We don't like ourselves, so we have to beat up on people who are below us or have it worse to feel better and to feel powerful. But please don't allow the ignorance of the black community.
You're not alone.
And know that you're not alone. And don't allow the ignorance of the black community to stop you from getting treatment and getting the help that you need. Don't allow black people calling you crazy, weird, psycho, strange, and every other name to stop you from getting help, because you only have one life, and you want it to be filled with joy, happiness, and peace, and not suffering and misery. And don't allow the judgment of others keep you back for getting the help that you need to help you blossom to get into a happier life. and stop you from getting there. So
don't forget to don't forget to subscribe to Frank Philly TV, everybody. Please make sure you subscribe, where we keep it 110% funky with y'all. And like I said, this is a very good, interesting for all y'all to learn from and listen in on and tune in on. Get help, okay? In the meantime, this is your host, Big Bro and Little Bro. Great check out of here on y'all. Take care.